Hello, today we're going to talk about graphing linear functions, point slope. All right, this is your point slope form. As its name goes, you have the slope, which is your m, and you have a point. Hence, point slope form. So if I give you the point, if I say I have a slope of 2, and I have given the point 3, 0, or 3, 1, all right? I'm gonna put it in here. So that'll give me y minus, so what's my y point? That's x, that's y. So minus my y point equals my slope times x. So that x and that y are always going to stay the same. They're not going to change. It's the ones that have the 1 with them that will change. That's part of the point. Minus 3. That is how you do it. That is point slope form, slope point, and then you can put it in. All right, while we're going through these examples, I'm going to explain sort of slope as we do it. If you want to see more about slope, you can watch another video that I have up, but I'm not going to go into a whole slope definition right now. But basically, all slope is rise over run. So you go up or down, you go left or right, depending on it. And this is still a linear function, so our shape will either be this or this for right now. That's negative, that's positive, and sometimes it'll be like this, and that is no slope. All right? Negative, positive. So if my slope is negative, my line will look like this. My slope is positive, it'll look like this. All right, so let's do our first example. So example 1. We're gonna graph y minus 4 equals 2x plus 2. All right, so let's draw a graph. Actually, there we go. Graph is good enough for right now. All right, so we're gonna graph this. We have our y-axis and x-axis, close enough. So we have our point. We have to pull our point out of this equation. Now this is the difficult part of it. Since that's negative and that's negative, what does it mean when that's positive right there? Well, what that means when that's positive right there is that when I put that point in, it was actually negative 2. So when you see a positive in front of it, that means that's actually a negative number. Here is negative and negative, so what does that mean about that number? It means it's positive. So negative 2, 4. That's our starting point here. And then, so that's our point. And our slope is right there, which is 2. So our starting point is negative 2, 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have our slope. It's 2. You can rewrite that as 2 over 1. So now I have my rise over my run. Any number can be written over 1. So if I have 61, I can write that as 61 over 1. If I have 27, I can write that as 27 over 1. Now I have my rise over my run. So by rise, I'm going to go up 2, put a small point right there for a second. Now, is my slope positive or negative? My slope's positive, so I need to move in the direction that's going to make this line. And my run is over 1. So there we go. I graphed the line. All right, for a second, we're going to do another example like that. And here we go. We're going to graph this. So I need to find my point and my slope. All right, my slope is this number right here. So it's negative 3, which can also be written as negative 3 over 1. My point, so this is my x point and this is my y point. So that's negative and that's negative. So that means when that was there, or when it was put in, it was 2. But this one right here is now positive 2, and that's negative. So what does it mean about that number? It means it's actually negative 2. So this is always our starting point for a point slope. So 2, negative 2. There we go. Now our slope comes into play. Our slope is negative, so we need our line to look like this. So I know that is what our line should look like in the end. So it's rise over run, so I'm going to rise up 3. And now I need to go to the direction to make it look like this. So I'm going to go to the left one. And there you go. That is how you graph it. Now if I was going to find a slope, all right, again, if you need any of the slope information, there's another video that's all about slope. I'm not going to really go over it that much here. All right, but if I'm looking for a slope, what I'm looking for, that's not really a good line, but I'm looking for 2 points on a line first. They have to cross at the little T section. So when they do that, you count up, so 1, 2, 3. So I rose up 3, and then how many are going over? 1, 2, 3. 3 over 3, which equals 1. It's a positive line. But what if I did something like that? So my rise over run here, I'll start here, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's my rise. And my run, now I'm here, is over 1. Now is that a positive or a negative line? Negative, so that's negative 5. All right, for this one, I have a line. I want to know what the point slope form is of this line, or what are the possibilities I could have, all right? So, well, I'm going to pick a point. I'm going to take this point right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So I have the point 4, 3. Now I need to find out what my slope is before I can plug this in. So what's my slope? So to find your slope, you have to have 2 distinct points. All right, and I do. I have a point here and a point right there it goes through. A lot of times it'll give it to you. If it doesn't, always look for the ones that cross at the T. So like here or here or here. Don't ever take a point that's right there because you don't know what that actually is. All right, so my rise over my run. So 1, 2, 3. I rose 3. And it doesn't matter if you go up or down. It doesn't. 1, 2, 3, 4. I ran over 4. What shape is my line? Negative. Negative 3/4. So now I can throw everything in. So y minus my y point, which is 3. Negative 3/4, which is my slope. Then x minus my x point. And there you go. That is my point slope form from that graph. All right, for our last example, I'm going to say, what is the equation in point slope form? So in point slope form of a point that's 4, -5, and a slope of 4. So this is simple enough. All we're doing is just plugging it into the equation correctly. So y, we'll put equals x. All right, so what do I put for my y right here? Well, that's my x point, that's my y point. Since that's -5, when I plug it into a negative, what does it become? +5. What's my slope? 4. And then what's my x point? Since it's just positive, you put it in here as negative. And there you go. All right, this has been graphing linear functions, point slope form. Again, if you need more information about slope, there's other videos about it. I didn't go into that much depth in here, and I hope this helps.